The Chronicles of Galactic Empires, in the Age of Interstellar Conflict and Beyond, a tale of intrigue, survival, and discovery. The universe was a vast, unexplored frontier, teeming with countless planets and civilizations. Among them, the galactic empires stood as the pinnacle of technological and cultural advancement, but their dominance was not absolute. For centuries, they had waged war against each other, struggling for supremacy over the stars. The Age of Interstellar Conflict had spawned countless battles, alliances, and betrayals, leaving behind a legacy of blood and fire that still haunted the galaxy. Yet, there were those who sought to move beyond that legacy, to chart a new course for humanity among the stars. They were the explorers, the pioneers, the dreamers who dared to sail into the unknown and discover what lay beyond. This is their story, a tale of intrigue, survival, and discovery that would change the course of history forever. Chapter 1. The nebula's edge. The ship was silent, drifting through the endless void of space like a ghost. Its sleek and rounded hull gleamed in the flickering light of distant stars, as if it were a living creature born from the cosmic dust. Inside, a team of scientists and explorers huddled around a holographic map, studying the intricate patterns of the galaxy. "We're approaching the nebula's edge," announced Captain Akira, a tall and wiry man with short black hair and piercing green eyes. "Prepare for the scans." The team nodded and activated their consoles, tapping into the ship's advanced sensors and scanners. The nebula was a vast, swirling cloud of gas and dust that obscured everything beyond it, a veil of mystery that had intrigued and frightened explorers for centuries. But the team was not afraid. They had prepared for years for this moment, studying the nebula's composition, trajectory, and potential hazards. "Scans online," reported Dr. Lee, a petite woman with long blonde hair and sharp features. "No signs of gravitational anomalies or ionizing radiation. The path is clear." Captain Akira nodded and adjusted the ship's course, steering it towards the nebula's outer rim. The team watched in awe as the ship passed through the veil, entering a strange and ethereal realm where the stars were dimmer, the colors muted, and the laws of physics seemed to bend and twist in unexpected ways. "This is incredible," said Dr. Kim, a tall and muscular man with a shaved head and a thick beard. "I've never seen anything like it." "That's because nobody has," said Captain Akira, a hint of excitement in his voice. "We're pioneers, my friends. We're charting a new course for humanity among the stars. Who knows what we'll find beyond this nebula?" The team cheered and high-fived each other, swept up by the thrill of discovery. They were not alone, however. Other ships were also exploring the nebula, some of them belonging to rival empires, others to independent factions seeking to claim their own piece of the cosmic pie. The Age of Interstellar Conflict had not ended, but merely shifted its focus to the unexplored regions of the galaxy. Chapter 2. The Lost World. The ship had been adrift for months, its engines damaged beyond repair, its food and water supplies dwindling, and its crew barely clinging to life. They had crash-landed on a hostile world, a planet whose atmosphere was toxic, whose climate was extreme, and whose inhabitants were deadly. For weeks, the crew had struggled to survive, scavenging for food and water, building shelters from the harsh environment, and fighting off the native creatures that stalked them day and night. They had lost many of their members in the process, either to sickness or injury or the razor-sharp claws and teeth of the planet's predators. But they had not lost hope. Their leader, Commander Dariana, a tall and regal woman with long black hair and piercing blue eyes, had inspired them with her courage and determination. She had been a veteran of the interstellar conflict, a hero who had led her troops to victory against overwhelming odds. She had not lost her nerve, even as the ship had plummeted towards the planet's surface, even as she had watched her comrades fall one by one. Instead, she had rallied them, instructed them, and orchestrated every detail of their survival. Now, as they trekked across the planet's barren landscape, she scanned the horizon with a makeshift telescope, searching for any sign of civilization. "There," she said, pointing to a distant plume of smoke rising from a cluster of rocky spires. "That must be our objective." The crew nodded, their spirits lifted by the hope of rescue. They followed Commander Dariana as she led them towards the spires, making their way through treacherous gorges, over high cliffs, and across scorching deserts. They encountered numerous obstacles, including swarms of insects, poisonous plants, and jagged boulders, but they persevered, fueled by their determination to survive. Finally, after days of hard trekking, they reached the spires, only to discover a deep chasm that separated them from the smoke. They could see the ruins of a city on the other side, crumbling columns, turrets, and archways that spoke of a once great civilization, now lost to time and neglect. "We need to find a way across," said Commander Dariana, studying the chasm with a frown. "Any ideas?" The crew looked at each other, uncertain of what to do. Then, Dr. Kale, a wiry man with glasses and a bald head, stepped forward, holding a small device in his hand. "I think I have a solution," he said, grinning. "Behold, the graviton bridge." He pressed a button on the device, and the crew watched in amazement as a shimmering blue field formed over the chasm, connecting the spires with the ruins. "It's an anti-gravity field," explained Dr. Kale. "It can support our weight and transport us across the gap." The crew cheered and embraced each other, grateful for Dr. Kale's invention. They crossed the bridge, their hearts pounding with excitement, their eyes sparkling with wonder. They were not alone, however. As they reached the other side, they heard a sound that chilled them to the bone, a metallic hiss that echoed from the ruins. Chapter 3. The enemy within the creature was unlike anything they had ever seen, a towering monstrosity of metal and wires, with glowing eyes and razor-sharp claws. It lunged at them with terrifying speed, its metallic jaws snapping like thunder. The crew fought back, using their weapons and skills to evade the creature's attacks, but it was no use. The creature was too powerful, too relentless, too alien. "We need to retreat," shouted Commander Dariana, her voice barely audible above the sound of battle. The crew nodded, following her lead as she led them back across the bridge. They ran as fast as they could, their legs pounding against the metal surface, their eyes fixed on the spires behind them. Finally, they reached the safety of the other side, collapsing onto the ground in exhaustion and horror. "What the hell was that thing?" gasped Dr. Lee, her eyes wide with fear. "I don't know," said Commander Dariana, her face pale and grim. "But I do know this. It's not from this planet." It's from somewhere else. The crew nodded, understanding the implication. They had stumbled upon something that was far beyond their expectations, far beyond their understanding. They were not the only ones, however. As they watched, more and more ships arrived at the planet's surface, their crews eager to explore the ruins and claim any technology or artifacts that might lay within them. The Age of Interstellar Conflict had come to this lost world, and the crew realized that they were caught in the middle of it. Chapter 4. The Gateways of Infinity. The gateways were everywhere, hidden in the fabric of space, waiting to be discovered. They were portals to other dimensions, other universes, other realities, and they held the promise of unlimited power and knowledge. But they were also dangerous, unpredictable, and coveted by those who sought to control them. The interstellar conflict had spawned many secrets, and the gateways were perhaps the greatest of them all. Captain Akira and his crew had been tasked with finding one of the gateways, buried deep within an asteroid field. It was a dangerous mission, one that required precise calculations, advanced equipment, and nerves of steel. They had prepared for months, studying the asteroid field's trajectory, scanning for anomalies, and devising a plan to extract the gateway without attracting attention from rival factions. They had also enlisted the help of a reclusive scientist named Dr. Hilda, a short and plump woman with thick glasses and an unkempt gray hair. She had dedicated her life to studying the gateways, collecting data from various sources, and theorizing about their origins and functions. With her help, Captain Akira and his crew had built a state-of-the-art scanner that could detect the gateway's energy signature, even amid the densest asteroid debris. The plan was simple. They would use the scanner to locate the gateway, then send a small team of engineers to extract it from the asteroid's core. They would then transport the gateway back to their ship, aboard a heavily armed shuttle, and guard it against any hostile factions that might try to intercept them. It was a risky plan, but they had no choice. The gateway possessed incredible potential, beyond anything they could imagine. It was the key to unlocking the secrets of the stars and achieving power and prosperity beyond measure. As they approached the asteroid field, with its glittering rocks and shimmering dust, Captain Akira ordered his crew to activate the scanner. "I'm getting a signal," announced Dr. Hilda, her eyes fixed on the console. "There it is. The gateway." Captain Akira nodded and ordered the shuttle to be deployed. He chose 4 engineers, the best and most skilled in his crew, to operate the extraction machinery. They donned their spacesuits and entered the shuttle, which was equipped with powerful engines, state-of-the-art weapons, and advanced sensors. As they approached the asteroid, they saw a shadowy figure materialize from behind a nearby rock formation, then another, then another. It was a ship, a heavily armed vessel bristling with turrets and cannons. "Hostiles!" shouted one of the engineers, his eyes fixed on the scanner. "They're trying to intercept us." Captain Akira gritted his teeth and ordered the shuttle to evade the incoming fire. The engineers worked frantically, using their tools and weapons to blast through the asteroid's core, seeking the gateway. The hostiles pursued them, firing their weapons, and slamming into the shuttle with their own vessels. The engineers held their ground, battling against the odds, determined to retrieve the gateway at any cost. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity, they found it. The gateway was a glowing orb of pure energy, pulsating with a strange and compelling force. They carefully extracted it, cradling it in a secure container, and made their way back to the shuttle. The hostiles were relentless, firing until the last moment, but the shuttle proved too fast and too agile, dodging and weaving through the asteroid field with grace and skill. Finally, they broke free of the field, soaring into the endless void of space, with the gateway in their possession. Captain Akira breathed a sigh of relief, feeling the weight of history upon his shoulders. They had retrieved the gateway, but at what cost? The Age of Interstellar Conflict had claimed more lives, more resources, more dreams. They had charted a course for mastery over the stars, but at what cost? The price of power was steep, and the risks were great. They had discovered a new frontier, but at what cost? The universe was vast and unexplored, but also treacherous, deadly, and unpredictable. They had entered the gateways of infinity, but at what cost? The mysteries of the cosmos awaited them, but also the secrets of destruction and chaos. The Chronicles of Galactic Empires had only begun, but already, it had shown its true face, a face of wonder and terror, of hope and despair, of glory and ruin. Only time would tell if humanity was ready for such a challenge that would define its destiny among the stars.